Hello and a massive welcome back to Golf 2021, March the 30th. What a few months we've had, but it's good to be back. Some of my online clients that I've been working with have been questioning grip types for putting because of the rise of Tommy Fleetwood, the resurgence of Lee Westwood, and obviously some of the dominance again, I suppose, with Bryson Dechambeau. So there's a few, the arm lock, then you've got your claw, and then you've got your Tommy claw. So I just want to talk to you about that, and some of the things that I talk to clients about as well is if you've got a standard grip and you're putting, you've got generally the toe of the putter in the air, which is the kind of how people like to hold it. They like to hold it in their fingers and on top, but it really is important the way you grip a putter. There's a lot of different wrist types, and I'll just go through them quickly now. You've got ulnar deviation, which is when your wrist goes down, radial deviation, which is when the wrist goes up, and you'll see what this does to the putter. So that's a standard position, ulnar, radial. Then you've got some other grip positions as well. So you've got your supination, pronation of your wrist, and then you've also got your flexion and extension of the wrist as well. So the wrist does a number of different things, but I suppose the one that I want to talk to you about today is how ulnar deviation is spoken about quite a bit with putting, and rightly so. It's got a place, and it gets the wrists and the putter into a flatter position on the ground, gets your wrists and forearm lined up to the shaft of the putter. Looks really good at setup, but that's for someone who's comfortable with a standard grip type, and also the ulnar position with the wrist. Now, Tommy Fleetwood and Lee Westwood, they're currently, if you was to put your hands on the putter the way they do, it'd be more like this. The wrist would be going up because they're trying to fit the wrist onto the side of the putter this way. So that's not an ulnar position. You wouldn't necessarily have the ulnar position here. Lee Westwood's getting the fingers in and to the side a little bit at the moment. So he's finding that quite comfortable, and I guess you'd probably have to ask him, but there's probably a feeling like the hands are not really doing an awful lot, or it's taking out the dominance of one of the hands. If one of the hands is misbehaving, we try and tame that a little bit. Then you've got Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood also, he gets his hand underneath the putter in this position. Now, you could argue that you can get it into an ulnar position underneath the putter, so the forearm and the wrist look a little bit like this. Or you could argue that actually you're setting it at a radial position this way and onto the putter. So it's quite important that you don't just throw your hands on the putter. You understand why the wrist is in a certain position and the role that it's performing on the putter. Why is it doing what it's doing on the putter, and is it eliminating something from your stroke that you're not quite comfortable with or that you're not happy with? I would say when you've got the wrist in this position underneath the putter up here, it's because you don't really like how dominant the hands are being, and it stops the pronation, supination and flexion extension of the wrist to apply power or force at the ball when you're required to make the stroke. So a lot of people, when they go to hit a putt, just as they come into impact, there's that sudden burst of energy from the head. So you kind of go like that, and that's the dominance of one of the hands. You don't want that really too much. There is a role for it, or a place for it in putting, in particular at distance. But when the guys are playing on tour greens with a really good fast-paced green, they don't necessarily want to see too much wrist dominance when it comes to hitting the putt. So I'm just going to fire a couple of putts up the green just to see how it feels for me. I'm going to do the Lee Westwood style first, so hands going onto the side of the grip. So let's have a little go with that. I can see why it does it. It does feel like one of my hands is less dominant, but I've got to say it felt a little bit wobbly. I'd probably persevere with that one if he was comfortable in taking that one on. Let's try the Tommy Fleetwood one. So we're going to just try and place the hand on the underside of the club, and again you're looking at trying to get that part of the hand into the backside of the grip. So let's just have a little go at that, and we'll see. Gotta say that for me feels like a better way than the Lee Westwood version, but it goes to prove, doesn't it? You've got Jordan Spieth left below right, you've got Bryson Dechambeau with the arm lock, you've got Tommy Fleetwood and Lee Westwood, you've got the standard grippers, Tiger Woods. We've all got a different way of doing it. It's what feels comfortable for you, what takes the hands out of the putting stroke or minimalises the amount the hands are doing. But there is a role for the hands in the stroke, so don't get me completely wrong. I don't want dead hands. There's got to be an element of something in there, but it cannot be a dominance that forces or manipulates the face too quickly. I hope you all stay well, and I'll be putting some more videos up soon, and yeah, I look forward to getting some more inquiries. Thank you.